Hi there. Welcome to my Vision News. Thanks for joining this live chat session. Three news stories. I'll speak on the three topics one by one. After sharing a summary of these three topics with you, let me welcome the participants who have joined the live chat session today. Uh, Shafo Wellwell is the first one who joined today. He's a member too. Welcome, Shafo Wellwell. Hope you're doing fine. Burji Suyama, another regular viewer. Welcome, Burji. Tiago Mangisha, another familiar name for me. Hi, Tiago. Muhammad Mekashao, too. I see him very often here. Sam, too. Sam says, welcome back. James Henry says, hello, Sarjit. My name is Sajid, Sajid. How are you, James? Vintana Tadase says, hello Sajid. A name in Amharic, I cannot read it. Bilal Moche says, hello. Teddy fan joined too. Teddy is another regular viewer. How are you, Teddy? Hello Arfeane. How are you? Hello. Mulugata Shimalas. Bilal says, I don't know how membership status changed. Maybe your membership has expired. You need to renew it, I think. That is why you're not a member now. It's not showing that you are a member now. A name in Amharic, a member says, hi, I am not able to read the name. Korkor Dang, how is election progressing in Pakistan? Korkor, I told you before the election that the election was a futile practice. It was a sham election. And you saw that I did not cast vote. I did not have any trust in the system. And that is what happened. Military establishment rigged elections. Imran Khan's party won elections, but the party was not. The party was deprived of its won seats, and now a puppet government has been established. That is why I did not cast vote. I said that the election would not bring peace and stability in Pakistan. Peace and Love says, hello, another member. Welcome, Peace and Love. Hope you're doing fine. Klaus, new join too. AB says, good to see you, Sajid. Johannes says, welcome. Johannes is a new member. Warm welcome to you, Johannes. Bantahio Fissehas says, hello. James Henry, that's okay. I just wanted to correct you about my name. Someone is writing about the Battle of Adwa. Tiago did not hear about international funding for Ethiopia, in which the current human rights situation in Amhara will have negative impact on it. Yes, I agree. Eritrean Post, Mr. Sajid, I am glad that you're healthy, but please show as much love and respect to Eritrea and Somalia as you have for Ethiopia and Tigray. I respect all of you. I respect people from all sides, but I criticize leaders only. I never criticize Eritreans. Eritreans are a wonderful community. They go through so many hardships. Still, they love their country despite what is happening in their country. I criticize governments. I criticize leaders because, in the end, government should be held accountable. That is what they are for. They're not here to rule, they're here to serve. So I criticize their policies, but I am not against Eritrean people or any other people. Kaliab Ijigo, I read Pakistan experienced the highest terrorist attack. Can you speak on where that threat is coming from? Honestly, I'm not covering Pakistan much. I don't know where it happened. But Nigash says, hi Sajid and hello from Yakil. Welcome, Nigash. Mulugata says, what makes Fano strong? Tikim Tafira says, hello, welcome, Tikim. Samson T. Hi Sajid, is it confirmed that Fano enter another major Amhara city, Debrecen? Okay, I'll speak on that. Bashiruddin Shanur says, hi Sajid, welcome. Jafir Jamal here. Lily Haletu, a member. Welcome, Lily. You are here after some time. You became a member a few weeks ago. Did not see you very often in live chats. Thank you for joining. Abdul Ali, Litkovian, Halche Alche, Drum, Barak, Jesus is Lord, Redmond Entertainment, Beline, Hagos, Glory to God. Thank you for joining, all of you viewers. Let me share a roundup of today's main topics. Firstly, Fano groups are planning another major attack. I have received information with you. I wouldn't share the specific details of what I have received, but just a highlight of what could happen in the Amhara region in coming hours. Secondly, Tigray viewers, Eritrea, we know that has officially taken a position saying that its forces are not in occupation of Tigray territories. Tigray rejects this position, and now Tigray wants federal government to speak. What is federal government's position? Thirdly, Somalia Ethiopia tensions. A country is mediating between the two parties. Which country? Any progress made so far or not? Daniel Alimayeho says, hi, Mr. Sajid. I am your regular follower since the Tigray war. Yeah, I remember, Daniel. In Sermo joined to what is the use of attack if you can't go forward with a clear goal? Well, their goal is clear, but the problem in Sirmo is that we compare Fano and TDF. Fano is operating on a difficult plane, on a different plane, in a different way. Don't compare, don't analyze Fano on the yardstick, according to the yardstick of territorial gains. That is not how they should be assessed, I think. If you want to analyze Fano in terms of territorial gains, obviously you would say that Fano are not in control of large territories. They enter, they retreat. No point in such attacks. But I think this is not the right way to analyze Fano's activities. They are making the region ungovernable. They are making the regional government irrelevant. Gradually, they are achieving their targets. Goal, no, Addis is not their first goal. Their first goal is Bahirdar and Sarmo. They want to make the region fall to Fano. They want to be the kingmakers in Amhara region. They want to be the government in Amhara region. Once they capture Amhara, they can go to Addis Ababa. Now they don't want to go to, and it's not possible for them to capture Addis without capturing Bahirda. So a problem is that we don't try to analyze their strategy with an open mind. Those who don't want Fano to achieve its targets. They try to downplay Fano's gains. And those who support Fano, they exaggerate about Fano, as if Fano is about to sweep across the region and reach Addis Ababa. We should be balanced, I think, in our assessment. Now, let me start, viewers. Let me speak. Three topics. First one is about Solomon says, I am happy to be part of your discussion. Welcome, Solomon. Good to be with you. Good to have you here. Uh, First, the story is about the Fano groups. I have received some credible information which I wouldn't be able to share in entirety with you. Sanjeev Nayak has joined. Interesting name, Sanjeev Nayak. Are you Indian, Sanjeev? Are you based in India or Indian based in Africa? Or this name is African? Uh, Credible information, very reliable through a source. Fano groups are planning. Yes, Sanjeev is confirming he's from India. Fano groups are planning another major attack in coming hours. They're going to implement this major attack in coming hours, reportedly. Uh, when I say another, Horn analysts joined to welcome Horn. It means that they might try to carry out an attack like they did in Bahidar. Bahidar attack was a major attack. Why? Because it made headlines across the world. International media covered what happened in Bahidar. And Fano did not suffer any major losses in Bahidar. It was a very quick operation by Fano fighters. They destroyed militia camps in Bahidar. They captured weapons. They took control of two police stations. They killed some government officials. They killed a police head, and then they retreated. In just 2 hours, within 2 hours, they completed their operation. It was a quick commando operation, you can say. But it made headlines across the world. And Amhara regional government had to issue a statement. Military had to issue a statement to tell the world that everything is normal. Yes, everything was normal after 2 hours. What happened within the 2 hours when Fano fighters were in Bahirdar? That is not what is being told by the government. How did Fano manage to enter Bahirdar from multiple directions? Why were flights to Bahirda airport suspended? Ethiopian Airlines suspended flights to Bahirdar for almost a day. 4 flights were suspended. Why? If it was a small scale attack of no significance, why was the need for suspension of flights on Bahirda airport? It was a high profile attack, I would say. A similar attack is planned, I would say. In coming hours, you could see a similar attack. I cannot share more than that because those who are in touch with me, uh, I need to honor my commitments. Sometimes I get information in advance before things happen, but I always honor my commitments. I don't disclose sources. I don't disclose those pieces of information which I should withhold, which I should not share, according to my commitment with some sources. That is why I cannot share complete details with you. But right now, when I'm recording this video, planning is underway. Rather, execution is underway. This attack is in execution stage, you can say. uh, and execution could start in coming hours if the plan is not foiled. Sometimes security forces, intelligence agencies, they get information about Fano's plans, and the same happens when Fano fighters get advanced information about military's plans too. So a lot happens. But so far, Fano groups are very optimistic. They say that in coming hours they'll implement, they'll execute their plan. So by tomorrow, we'll be able to say for sure what is going to happen. But I think the attack in Bahirdar has given a new strength to Fano fighters, Fano groups. Now they believe they can carry out major attacks in main town cities. And after Bahirdar, they entered Shore orbit. Uh, uh, and in Miravi too, I think they entered around 24 hours ago. They entered Digarim or Faris Bet as too. You could see more attacks in major towns and cities of the Amhara region in coming hours and days, it seems. Kinadit Garbo says, thanks. Blue Navy, Fano has no cause, absolutely. Well, Fano does have a cause, but maybe the cause is not significant for you. Maybe the cause does not correspond with your cause or your loyalty, your sensitivity, your affiliation. Otherwise, they do have a manifesto, they do have a cause. Simply, they want to remove the government. They say they're fighting to protect Amhara people. They say Amhara people are being massacred. And they have managed to get support from different sections of society in the Amhara region. They have resources too, limited though. They have morale as well. They have public support too. They have diaspora support too. So, what else should they have to convince you that they have a cause? They have a cause. That is why they are fighting. That is why they are dying, and still they are here. How many Fano fighters have been killed in the Amhara region so far? Hundreds. Hundreds. According to military's claims, hundreds have been killed so far in the Amhara region. Thank you, Yamaskan. Yamaskan has joined. He's bought this super chat sticker as well. Thank you for this contribution, Yamaskan. So they have the commitment, definitely. They are showing the resolve to. Problem is that those who don't want to understand, those who oppose Fano, they try to portray as if Fano groups have no cause. You can argue about the cause, whether it is genuine or not, whether it is good or bad, but you cannot say they have no cause. Someone is saying there is unconfirmed report coming out. Abiy has abandoned the MOU with Somaliland. Can you confirm that? At the end of this live chat, I'll speak on that. J3456 says they're also fighting for all Ethiopia, not for Amhara. So you see, there are people like J who support Fano, who believe Fano is fighting for entire Ethiopia. And you say Fano has no cause. Liz Elias joined after some time. How are you, Liz? Long time no see. How are you doing? I'm fine, Liz. Hope you're doing fine too. Muhammad Toke, can the situation between TPLF and government lead to another war? Did a video on that around 48 hours ago. Please watch that video and do share your feedback with me. But in the next few minutes, I'll speak a little about that. Ndoc. Ndoc says, Sajid, who is responsible for the chaos in the Amhara region? Well, it takes two to tango. You cannot just accuse the government or Fano groups. But I think government made some decisions which backfired. And one of the worst decisions was the decision to disband special forces. That is how Fano re-emerged. Because ASF, Amhara Special Force, could not be disbanded. Tens of thousands of ASF members joined Fano, and Fano got new life. Uh, and the way federal government tried to rush disbandment of ASF in Amhara was a bad move, I think. So government is to blame. And secondly, if government can talk to Ola, why can't it talk to the Fano groups? Talks should happen. That is the way forward. It is difficult for Fano fighters to reach Addis Ababa. It's not easy. I always say there is Romia between Addis and Amhara. At the same time, it's very difficult for the government to crush Fano fighters. Then what is the solution? What is the way forward? Way forward is some common ground, some negotiation, dialogue. That is the way forward. Otherwise, you'll see fighting will go on for months and years, maybe. Sangira TV, thanks for the update, Brother Saji. Thank you, Sangira. Now, let me speak on the second topic, which is from Tigray. This week, last week rather, today is Monday. Last week, Eritrean embassy to UK and Ireland issued a statement taking an official position that there is no Eritrean military in Tigray, that where Eritrean military is deployed are parts of Eritrea, not Tigray, and that the boundary commission's verdict has been implemented by Eritrea. This is now official position of Eritrea. Tigray's official position is that Tigray's territories are under occupation. Eritrean military is in occupation, illegal control of Tigray territories. And we have been saying that Ethiopian federal government should take a position as well. Because in the end, it is federal government's responsibility to protect Ethiopian borders. What is Ethiopian federal government's position? That is what we want to know. And that is what Tigray wants to know as well. Tigray Communication Affairs Bureau in charge spoke a few hours ago today, and he said it's the responsibility of federal government of Ethiopia to protect Ethiopia's borders. And he said that federal government should not stay silent. It should tell Ethiopians, Tigray, what is the federal government's position about what Eritrean embassy to UK and Ireland has said in the state. That is what I hinted at, that federal government will have to take a position one day. Federal government cannot be a silent spectator. It's about border. Does federal government accept Eritrean government's position that the territories where military is a part of Eritrea? Or does it stand with Tigray? So far, federal government is silent, and perhaps this is one of the reasons behind the rising of tensions between Tigray and the federal government. The proposal shared by the federal government to break the deadlock over Ryan Volkait has been rejected by Tigray. Uh, no progress about return of IDPs, no progress about transitional justice, no progress about DDR. Uh, Still, Tigray has a standing army of more than 200,000 and no progress about the conflict between the Tigray archbishops and the main church. Lots of issues unresolved, and now this border issue as well. Where does Addis Ababa stand about the deployment of Eritrean military on Eritrea Tigray border? Just connected to this topic is a question which was asked by a viewer a few minutes ago that is there a possibility of war between TPLF and the federal government? The possibility is always there. Why? Because the Pretoria deal is not very comprehensive. Pretoria does not address key issues. Pretoria only silenced guns. Otherwise, the key issues were not addressed by Pretoria. How will the deadlock over Volkayat and Raya be broken? When will election be held, etc., etc.? There are several important issues not addressed by Pretoria. That is why I say that Tigray and the federal government need a new Pretoria. But Tigray says it won't talk to federal government now. It will talk to federal government through African Union only. That shows that the trust which has been there between Tigray and federal government since the signing of Pretoria is eroding very rapidly. So there should be intervention. Federal government will have to show some flexibility. It will have to support Tigray government financially. Return of IDPs will have to start. And some progress will have to be made about the status of therapies. And importantly, TPLF's status as a political party will have to be restored. TPLF won't accept prosperity party's presence in Tigray. So these are very important issues. That is why we are seeing some strong statements by the two sides. War is not imminent, definitely, but if core issues remain unresolved, then we could see resumption of hostilities, I would say. Hamza says, what's new on Somaliland MOU? Do you think Ethiopian military is present in Lohaya? Well, third topic of today's live chat is Somalia Ethiopia tension, mediation between the two sides. Okay, let me start. Let me address your question as well. I don't know about Ethiopian military presence in Lohaya. I could not confirm that. Though we know that Ethiopian military officers are visiting Somaliland. Hassan Sheikh, Somalia's president, when he was in Addis Ababa to attend African Union Summit, he said in Addis Ababa that Ethiopian officers had already arrived in Somaliland. But are they in Lohaya or in some other area of Somaliland? It's not clear. But importantly, mediation is being done by a country, mediation between Ethiopia and Somalia. Pim Abiy was in Kenya last week, and from Kenya he went to Tanzania. Hassan Sheikh also visited Nairobi to attend UN Environment Conference. Abiy tried to meet with Hassan Sheikh through William Ruto, Kenyan president. And before Hassan Sheikh's arrival in Nairobi, Ethiopia and Kenya issued a joint statement. And one point of the statement was about respect for territorial integrity and sovereignty of all the countries in the region. That was sort of message of goodwill from Ethiopia for Hassan Sheikh. Kenya wanted Ethiopia to issue this type of message before Hassan Sheikh's arrival in Nairobi. Hassan Sheikh did not agree to meet with Abiy. Why? It's very understandable. I've been saying that it would be a political suicide for Hassan Sheikh to meet with Abiy. I predicted there will be no meeting, and that is what happens. There was what happened. There was no meeting between Abiy and Hassan Sheikh in Nairobi. Meetings held between Abiy and Ruto and Hassan Sheikh, but reportedly Abiy requested Ruto to mediate, and this is the second request from Abiy to Ruto to mediate. He confirmed his first request when he addressed African Union session a few days ago, African Union summit. He said that he had requested Ruto of Kenya, Ismail Omar, president of Djibouti, and Yoweri Museveni of Uganda to mediate, to talk to Hassan Sheikh. Again, Abiy went to Kenya. Their talks were held about Ethiopia using Kenyan ports, Mombasa and Lamu port, and reportedly Ethiopia could start using Lamu port. Discussions ongoing, discussions about tariff reportedly ongoing. A top Ethiopian delegation visited Kenya after PM Abiy's departure, and the two sides are now in talks about port tariffs. Ruto is in talks with Hassan Sheikh. Reportedly, he's mediating. He's trying to de-escalate the situation, and he's asking Hassan Sheikh to bring down the temperature, because Hassan Sheikh's government officials have been using very strong language against Ethiopia. So Ruto is playing the role of a pacifier, a mediator between the two sides. People say that Ethiopia will have to rescind the MOU. MOU is a dead deal now. Difficult to say at this point of time. But Ethiopia has frozen the implementation a little, because it was due to turn into an agreement within a month. 2 months have passed. So far, no signs of signing of an agreement. Ethiopia is showing a little bit of a flexibility by contacting mediators. So it means, hi, someone is saying, name is in Amharic, a member, warm welcome to you. I cannot read your name. So this is the situation. We cannot say that MOU has been rescinded. At the same time, we can safely say that MOU's implementation has been delayed because of strong reaction from Somalia. Somalia is getting practical support from Egypt and Turkey. Both are ready to stand with Somalia. African Union, Arab League, UN are not expected to do anything except issue statements. That is what they are doing. But Somalia has allies on its side, two strong allies, Egypt and Turkey. Let's see how things unfold in coming days. Mojo says Ethiopia better off renegotiating port deal with Djibouti. Well, Mojo, I think that Ethiopia's strategy of having access to more than one ports is better. Ethiopia should not rely on Djibouti's port only. It should have access to several ports. That is the way forward. If it relies only on one country, that country will blackmail Ethiopia. That is what happens. You need competitors. Ethiopia should use Berbera, it should use Lamo, it should use Djibouti port. At least three ports are accessible to Ethiopia. Without having a naval base in Somaliland, Ethiopia can use Berbera port. I don't think Somalia would object to that. If Ethiopia does not establish a naval base in Somaliland, if Ethiopia doesn't recognize one as a country, it can use Berbera port. Somalia won't object to it. So that is why Ethiopia can have access to Berbera, Lamo, and Djibouti's port maybe that is better for future for Ethiopia, I think. Ming Han always asks about any weapons delivery to Somalia yet. Well, I think Somalia's officials are visiting some countries to buy weapons. Why? Because now Somalia is not under arms embargo. It has every right to buy weapons for its forces. If Somalia wants to raise military, obviously it will need weapons for the military, heavy weapons too. I think one top Somalia's military official has been seen inspecting weapons in a country from where Somalia could buy weapons. He was seen inspecting heavy weapons. So Somalia could get weapons in coming days, I think, coming weeks. And that wouldn't mean that Somalia is preparing for war against Ethiopia. Somalia wants to equip its military. It wants to have a strong military. It needs a strong military because it is fighting against Al Shabaab. Fikro, I look into it. These clashes for since I started covering Ethiopia, I've seen several rounds of clashes, and sometimes whenever there is unrest in Djibouti, we see its impact in Ethiopia and vice versa as well. Jaffa says, "What do you think Abiy will do if it decided to pull out of Amhara?" I don't see Abiy pulling out of Amhara. Abiy will only pull military out of Amhara if there is a deal between Abiy and Fano. Otherwise, Abiy won't risk withdrawal from Amhara. If he withdraws military from Amhara, I think the regional forces would collapse. It won't happen. Military won't withdraw, I think. Tech says, let's all stand together, calling louder for no more war. Yes, I agree. The problem is that big decisions are made by those who are in power in Ethiopia. People's opinion is not important. People don't have a voice in big decision making. They cannot oppose wars. If they do, they are declared traitors. But at least we should not be part of spreading propaganda which could lead to war. We should reject these rhetorics which could lead to wars. Otherwise, decisions are made by those who are in power and they do whatever they want to do. And these wars are basically a manifestation of conflict between the ruling elite members for more political influence in Ethiopia. TPLF ruled, Abiy came, he sidelined TPLF. TPLF refused to be restricted to Tigray only. TPLF thought it could remove Abiy. Abiy thought it could crush TPLF. War broke out. Now Fano want to remove Abiy. They think Abiy is going to give Volkayet to Tigray and that Romos are going to expand their influence. So it's a fight between Oromo, Amhara political interests. People become fuel of these conflicts. Knowingly, unknowingly, they start supporting these wars. Yes, I agree. All should reject wars. That If there is any conflict, any dispute, it should be handled by politicians through dialogue. Wars, by the way, wars are a failure of political class of a country. If there is a war, civil war in a country, it means that politicians in that country have failed. That is why wars break out. If there was a war in Tigray between Tigray and Fano, it was the manifestation of failure of Tigray's and Addis Ababa's political elite. Let's hope that the Tigray's ruling elite members have learned from what happened in northern Ethiopia in the last 3 years. Girme says your analysis is fair and transparent and keep it. Thank you, Girme. What are the chances of Ethiopia becoming like Sudan? Sajid Jafar is asking. Uh, I think comparison is not fair. In Sudan, we're seeing military versus. Have you taken a long walk? Alim says. I walk for almost an hour. Resumed my walks 3 to 4 days ago. I resumed my walks, but still not long walks. My long walks go beyond 2 hours, around 2 hours. I could not resume my workout. So hopefully I'll do after a few weeks. So I don't see Ethiopia becoming Sudan because you cannot compare RSF and Fano. RSF, Kira joined too. Welcome, Kira. Fano so far is not in a position to sweep across the country like RSF is doing because RSF was part of the government. Dagalo was deputy head of Sovereignty Council. Burhan was head of Sovereignty Council. So both were sharing power. Burhan was strengthening military. Dagalo was strengthening RSF. Both were in power. Both shared power. And while they were still allies, Dagalo's RSF entered Khartoum. And Burhan knew that. Then conflict started. So we cannot compare, I think, Sudan and Ethiopia. Sudan is a much, much worse condition. Because 43 minutes have passed, I think we should end this live chat session. Kira says, how you have been feeling after undergoing the surgery? You sound really well and healthy. Yes, Kira, I'm fine, recovering. Overall, I think I should have had this surgery long ago. Feeling much better now, but it takes time to recover, obviously. Thank you for asking. Thank you for joining this live chat, viewers. We should end this live chat session. We covered 3 topics. I talked about a likely major operation by Fano fighters in coming hours. Secondly, talked about Tigray. Tigray is asking the federal government to speak about Eritrean position, that Eritrea is not in occupation of Tigray's territories. Thirdly, Kenya is mediating between Ethiopia and Somalia. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow in the next live chat session. Stay blessed. Bye bye.